probably have to drive forward. Maybe knock it against the wall again just to level it up here. Again, not suggested in reality. Yeah, that wouldn't happen in reality either. What the hell? What has happened there? Hey there guys, Spexxy here, welcome back to Retro Specs. Here I am sitting on my little, well I guess it's like a lift building platform. It assists you when you're building large builds like this thing down here. Now let me just land on top of this. So this build platform, basically it has an on and off switch, which I'll show you once I've landed. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 keys to move this thing around. You can also turn it with the A and D key. So I can move up and down with the 1 and the 2. I can put the lights, oh, I turned it off there, hold on a second, turn it back on. I can turn it on and off with the 3 key and do the lights with the 4 key there. And then moving it left, right, forward and back with the arrow keys. And there you go. So that's pretty easy to fly around. It will stay where you put it. Like you say, it tilts slightly. As you can see, it is now just slightly to the right. I need to get that just perfected, but that's as good as I've got it at the moment. Now, it's pretty cool, and I'm going to bring it down on top of this build down here. Okay, let's just bring it down gently. And turn it off with a 3 key, and we are on top. Okay, so there you go. 3 turns it on, just hovers it up there, and turns it back off again. That's basically it. Now, what you can also do with this is you can sit on the end here, which if you're in the sky, let me just demonstrate. Let's turn 3 on for a second and then go up. If you are in the sky, let's just let that hover for a second and we jump in one of these and then zoom into first person. We can get this nice sort of panoramic view of what's going on. You can see the shadow there at the platform. It isn't until I look right round that you see the platform itself. So we're kind of out there. I could make these a little bit longer so you see less of the platform and actually see more of around you. I probably will do that, but it's pretty good. It works for what it was intended for. And you can then jump back out and get back to the middle there to bring it down. Okay, so enough of that. That isn't the main build here. I just wanted to land on top of this just so that I could show you from up here before I jump down. So we are on top of a building, as you can see now. Looking around, you probably guess what sort of building this is. Let me just get rid of that. I can jump down. I won't need it. Okay, so we have some air conditioning units here going on, and we have some glass panels here. Now, it is a warehouse building, or at least the first stage of my warehouse. This is what is known as the bulk chamber, and this is where the pallets are kept in the racking. So seeing it from up here gives you a much better view of the thing than when I'm in there. So there you go, lots of racking, lots of slots. They do need some locations on them. I haven't figured that out yet, but they are all there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of racking, if you like. The 2 back to back in the middle and the ones at the side. So lots of space for pallets. You can also see a truck down there, which is what this is about. And you can see some pallets also. So let's jump down and show you then the outside of this and the truck that you can see just there. So outside of the building, as you'd expect, first chamber, there will be more. There will be like a goods in, a loading, and all other things you'd expect to see in a warehouse. I would also like your suggestions on what you would like to see in here as warehouse builds. Now, I've worked in a warehouse for many years, as has Moonbo, so he will probably recognise some of the things that we're going to show you in this video and then hopefully in the later videos. Actually, would be pretty cool to work with Moonbo and see if he could help me on some of the builds that go into this warehouse when I make it bigger. But I have to ask him if he will do that. So here is the first truck. I've called it the Retro RT. Now that's because this is a reach truck. Now I drove one of these for probably 12 years or more, so I pretty much know what a reach truck is. It's kind of like a counterbalance, however it has a nifty little feature. Now you can see it's glowing slightly, and that's because I've had to put a couple of thrusters in. Now you wouldn't have that obviously in a real one, but because of the size of this, and you will see when I start using it, if I didn't have them, it would go over more than likely because of leverage, and you will see what I mean. So I've got it set to go forward with forks forward. Now you wouldn't drive that as forward in the real one, and I might turn it round because forward in a real truck would be forks trailing like so. and then you can drive it around like this, and it all goes pretty decently. Now wobbles slightly, like I say, it would wobble a lot more without those thrusters. I've got the wheels underneath here, which you can just about see, they go almost 90 degrees round, so you get quite a turn on those, and that is what enables you to do these nifty little spins, which is pretty good and very precise for picking up pallets. Now, it can't go any faster than this. If I do that, you will see the engine is here. If I put this up to top speed, you will see what will happen, but it will be a little off balance. Now, it will stay probably upright because of those thrusters, but you couldn't really operate it like this. So yeah, that needs to be down at least those 2 speeds down to here. Okay, that will then enable this to work better. Now you can see down the bottom there's a lot of controls, and the top one, the 0, is the horn. Don't know if you can hear that because I've got the effects down pretty low. The next one, the 9, is the lights, and there you go, flashing lights on top to show people that I'm in the area, that I am operating heavy machinery, and just giving them a general warning. In a warehouse it becomes essential that you have things like lights and horns to make sure that people know that there's heavy machinery working and they don't get injured. For their health and safety, you would say. Okay, so driving it around then seems pretty easy, and like I said, it's a counterbalance, so it has forks for lifting pallets. So how does it lift a pallet? Well, we'll do that when we get in there, but I can show you the forks without the pallet on to give you a general idea, because there's something different about this to your average counterbalance. So if I press the 0 key, we know it was the horn, and we know that the 9 key was the light. The 8 key, if you look at the forks, let me zoom in here, the 8 key will tilt those forks back, so when you are holding a load you can tilt it against your mast to keep it safe so it doesn't fall off. That's called travel mode. And then if you press the 7 key, you will lift the forks just above the feet. So if you were holding a pallet, you'd bring it in above your feet, and you'll see what I mean by bring it in, because you can also take the mast out and bring it back again. So you pick a pallet up, you pull it back across the top of your feet there, and then you lift it up to the required level. Now inside this warehouse there are a few, and we're going to go inside to demonstrate. So we now know how it reaches out, reaches in, lifts the pallet onto the feet, and you can drive around. All pretty cool so far, so let's go and have a look at the one that's set up inside. Okay then, so we're going to go into the main building itself, or as I'm calling it, the bulk chamber. Now I haven't got a name for this warehouse either. I'd like to put a logo or a name up there, maybe the Retro Spexxy logo, but let me know if you want to put something else up there. I may do that. So let's jump in then. This is the main chamber, or the bulk chamber, named so because of the bulk pallets that will go into these bulk slots to be brought down later date, to be going out to different customers and things like that. So this is the main warehouse. Okay, here is one of my reach trucks ready to go, and in front of it is a pallet. So you saw me pick up the forks and tilt them, and you saw what it could do just above the feet. Now it does a lot more than that, and by looking at the size of the mast you can probably guess how much more. So I have got a pallet in front of me. We will pick that one up, and then I'll show you how high this thing can actually lift. So bear in mind this is based on a real machine, and they do exist. I haven't just made this up. Like I say, I drove one for 11-12 years. So yes, let's bring out the 6 then for the reach. We'll lift it up with 7. Now we want to bring it back with the 6 again across the top of my feet there. There you go, just perfectly. And then if I press the 1 key, it will lift it to level 1. There it is. If I press the 2 key, it will lift it to level 2, and there it is. If I press the 3 key, the extension of the mast comes out, lifting it to level 3. Level 4 goes even higher, and level 5, as you can imagine, is the top. Now that should reach all levels of my racking over there. Bit of a beast of a machine. When I first saw one of these in real life, I was like, I'm not driving that. But you know what? When I got on it, it is actually a joy to drive once you're used to it. Not so when you're lifting your first pallet of wine off the top level and the mast is swaying. You do kind of have brown trouser time, but yeah, it is pretty fun once you know how to use it. So there you go, that's how the thing works, and we're going to put it into practice in the racking over here. So let's bring that down again. Now I press in the 5 key again, the 4, the 3, the 2 and the 1. It is down to the feet again because 7 is still on. Now that is a good thing, because when I go to put it in the rack in, that 7 enables me to drop it just down onto the beam, and then when I pull my forks out, it should stay there. Now I'm going to turn the lights on. Probably not going to make any difference at all, but they're there for aesthetics. So we'll put them on here. Bing, 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 bing. There they are. And we'll jump back onto the truck itself. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to put one of these away in one of these racks. Let's make it easy and go for one of these end ones first. So let me turn my lights up. That was 9, there it is, and they're flashing, just to let anyone know I am operating machinery in this area, and I don't hit the wall, Spexxy. That would be investigation, and you'll probably be taken off a truck. Okay, let's into the aisle. Now these trucks were made this way so that you could go into a narrower aisle. People could move other trucks into pick and such, and then you can reach out. You couldn't do this with a counterbalance because it would be too long and it wouldn't be able to lift up as high. Now I'm having a bit of a mare here. It shouldn't be this hard. I'm just talking and driving is not my forte. Let's see if I can turn this in. Should be all right at about that. I wouldn't take that long. Normally I'd be swung into there, but yeah, that should be good enough. Now let's move my feet up a little bit closer to the racking. Don't want to go too close to my pallet hits, of course. Now let's move it up to level 1. There we go. Now if I reach out with the 6, you will see it goes in above the racking. Now that isn't quite in far enough to reach the back beam, so let's go in a little bit further. Should be good enough there maybe. Let's go. And let's go down with the 7 now, which drops off that last little bit. There it is. Now it's on the back, but only just. I'm not quite happy with that, so let's go forward just a little bit. Let's adjust. And let's go down again. There it is. Should drop it on there just nicely. That's beautiful. And I should be able to reach back with the 6 key. There we go. And it's dropped nice and firmly in the racking. Lovely. Now I'll bring those down to the floor now with the 1. There they are. And you notice I didn't use the tilt either, which I could have done for the feet. Sorry, not for the feet, for the forks, to hold the pallets a bit more secure when you're driving around. I will do that probably over here with these ones. So I've now got pallets with stock on. Not sure how this is going to go because they do have a weight, obviously, these boxes, and I haven't tried it with boxes on, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to be. Another reason I put the thrusters in, because I knew I was going to try and lift heavier pallets. Okay, so we'll try the lighter weight one first. Let's level ourselves up to it. Don't hit the racking. Don't want to knock that down. Watch some YouTube videos on racking being knocked down by reach trucks. You will see it's not a pretty sight. It's never happened in anywhere I've worked, but it definitely has happened out there because I've seen the videos to prove it. Okay, let's go. There should be probably a little bit further over. Let me get this out lined up. There we go. Okay. Oh, try again, Spexxy. Go up there a bit. There we go. That's it. Don't nudge it too much. There we are. That's nice and level. Probably need to come back a bit. There we go. Now let's go 6 then to reach out and forward in there just to get it on the heel again. And there it is. Lift it up with the 7. Hopefully not going to be touching the wall. It might be, but if it is, let's just move it back. Yeah, there we go. We were catching the wall slightly there. And then we should be able to bring that back with the 6 again. Oh, it's catching. Now that could be the weight of the pallet, like I said. So let's just try that again out here and see if it is the weight. I could probably make an adjustment for that if that's the case. Now, is that dropped down to the floor? It hasn't. Why hasn't it? Is it catching somewhere? Doesn't seem to be. Let's just jump out a second. What is going on with this pallet? Pallet, what are you doing? Not happy with you now. Get on my forks. I wouldn't be doing this in reality, of course. Why is it not working? Right. Let's try again. Let's jump in. Would go wrong when I'm videoing, of course. That's always the way. Right, so 7 lifts it up, but it's not lifting it up enough. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to reset this, guys, just to make sure that we can do this. I'm sure it does work. It's just probably when it hit that wall, it pulled the bearings maybe. I maybe had that pallet too close to the wall and that caught it. So let's bring this one back a little bit for when I do this one. And let's bring this one forward a bit because it could have bent the bearings out or something like that on the bottom of the mast here. So I'm not quite sure what happened, but we're going to give it another go. We're not giving up so easy. So let's jump in there again, and let's go for this first pallet, and hopefully this time, I know these onion boxes are reasonably heavy, but let's see if we can do it. So let's line it up. There we go. We can push the pallet slightly with our feet. You probably shouldn't, but if you look at them in reality, there's a lot of pallet scuff marks on them. We used to have blue pallets in our warehouse, or still do, and yeah, there's a lot of blue marks all over the front of the feet of the trucks. So let's go 6. That goes. Excuse me. Excuse me? What is that all about? Now, you didn't do this when I was practicing, and I don't want you to do it right now. Let's just get this out here. Behave this time, please. Drop it off. Jump in. We're not going to have any more of that. I'll do it with the reach out. There we go. Pallets with stock on seem to be causing me issues. Right, get in. And 7. Lift it up. It doesn't want to lift this pallet above the feet, does it? Yeah, I think it is just simply the weight of the thing. Yeah, we're going to have issues because of that, I think. Well, no issues with dropping it. That will have to do because I can't get it on anymore. Let's see if the tilt will do it with the 8. I should put a tilt on the pallet, and hopefully it will slide down. I can always push it against the wall. Again, something that wouldn't be recommended in real life, but we're not in real life. There you go. That'll do. It's on there. Okay, now stock on heavier pallets are more difficult, it seems, to lift. God knows what that one's going to be like, but we're going to give it a go. So we're going to go up to probably a middle level now, maybe level 3, and we'll do so, well, let's say around about here, somewhere in the middle of the racking. Turn it around. You want to go that angle. Line it up. There we are. And then I'm going to go up and turn the tilt off. There we are, and then move it up to 1, 2, 3. So press the 1, 2, and 3 keys there to extend each part of the mast. And let's move it in a bit. Not want to hit the racking. I think I'm a little close on this side. Bags of room on the other. See if I can move this and adjust it. Like I say, in reality, I wouldn't need to adjust so much because I'm so used to driving these. But in scrap mechanics, it's hard to actually line it up and see what you're doing. Should sneak it in at that. Not how straight my feet are, not very. Let's turn it a bit, there we go. And let's see then if I move back a bit, because I don't want to reach out and then hit the racking. Let's reach out. Okay, now move slightly forward. Turn it as you go. Come on, Spexxy, you can do it. Have faith in yourself. There we go, we're kind of in there. I'm not sure, we're quite level, I think. But I'm not sure how much further we need to go in to get this to drop safely on the bar. Let's try this. Too far in. Let's just go back a little bit. There we go. And try again. Oh, not back. 7, please, not 6. And that should drop it. Oh, a little bit too far. Want it to be a little bit further forward than that. Let's bring it out a little bit more. When I say forward, I mean forward in the racking, not forward on my fork. So let's go down again. And yeah, it's in there. It's pretty beautiful. And let's come back now. And that should be left, no problem, in the racking. Okay, there it is. And then bring my forks down. 1, 2, 3. And we are back down to the floor again. Bring it in, and there you go. So that is how it works. We're going to try one more, which is the heaviest one. Expect that to go well. And we're going to put it on the top level. So heaviest, biggest pallet, bound to cause more problems, and we're going to put it at the top. Yeah, sounds like it's a plan for disaster, but you know what? I like a bit of disaster from time to time, and I'm sure you guys do too. So let's go in here again, lining it up as we do. Let's go there maybe. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to extend those forks with the 6 key. Do not knock it over this time. Thank you. It's all the way to the heel, which I like. Let's go 7 then. It lifts it, but it doesn't lift it very high there, does it? That is not really going to get anywhere above my feet. Yeah, this could be a bit of a problem, guys. It will lift up into the air, no issue. Let's bring it down again. And maybe if I bring it above my feet now, and we'll drive it with it up there. Not suggested to do that in reality, but yeah. There it is. So we're going to try to put this on a top level. If I turn my lights off, better put your lights on for this one. This is probably the most dangerous move you've made. So let's back on up here. I want to get away from the wall without smashing the windows. We'll go into the other set of racking over this side. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going? I didn't put my tilt on there. Let's put it on. And we'll probably have to drive forward. Maybe knock it against the wall again just to level it up here. Again, not suggested in reality. Yeah, that wouldn't happen in reality either. What the hell? What has happened there? Let's take that back down. God only knows where the pallet's gone. Pallet? Where are you? Oh, you're over there. Of course. That's exactly what would happen in reality, guys. That's why I said, don't push it against the wall. And yeah, I was right, weren't I? Okay, let's drop it right in front of me. Should be very easy to pick up now. Probably could have gone over one more block. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be fine. Let's get in. And then forward. This time I am going to do it. I'm certain I'm going to do it. Okay, let's go extend with the 6 key. And lift the 7, which doesn't lift very high. We've already established. In fact, it doesn't want to lift at all. What's going on with my truck? Ah! This heavy pallet is probably not going to have it. Look, it's broke my forks. My forks actually through the floor right now. This pallet may be too heavy for the truck. Let's try again. Now, the single pallets with nothing on them, no problem. But these ones with stock on, it seems to be a lot trickier. Probably should have checked that out before I made the video. But you know what? I'm happy with this build. I can't do much more with it. And it's just a case of using light products or light pallets and it will work fine, but with this heavy stuff we really haven't got much chance. So let's try again one more time with this heavy pallet. If I can't do it, I'll use an empty one. So let's go out 6. Yeah, that didn't go too well either, did it? I am going to do what I said not to do, and I think I broke it again there. Yeah, I think we're going to use an empty pallet, guys. It's not going to work with this one. We're having all sorts of problems with the heavy pallet. So let's just destroy these boxes off the top of this and make it just an empty pallet. And we will probably find we'll have no issues at all with actually moving this. But a warehouse full of empty pallets probably wouldn't be much of a warehouse. I'll tell you what, let's see how we go in making what looks like a pallet, but out of maybe ultralight blocks. And they're not the most suggested block to use, but right now we want it to look like there's something on this pallet. So let's have a couple of layers of ultralights and let's see if we can move that. At least it looks like there's something on there. Okay, so move closer to the pallet, line yourself up, Spexxy, there you go, and turn it a little bit more, there it is, and then extend with the 6 key, and it's in, then lift with the 7 key, like so. Well, they're ultra light, they have hardly any weight, so yep, works the same as an empty pallet. That's cool. A little bit of a glitch there with the mask, but not too bad. Now let's see then. I'm going to put this, like I say, in the racking on the other side. So let's turn the lights on. I'll put my tilt on slightly as well to secure the pallet a little bit more. And then if you were driving faster as well, that would make this pallet bob around more. So for carrying the stock, it's essential for this thing to actually go at the speed it's going at. So we're going to go up to the top level, possibly, we went in the middle before, didn't we? Let's go second one in at the top on this side. So let's go here. I think I can do this. Oh, that was almost a better turning angle than I had before. A little bit less hassle. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's lift it up then. We'll turn the tilt off, so 8. And this is where I'm expecting it might bounce off because I don't want to press these all too quick. So let's go very slowly. 1 first, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are up to the top. Let's move it in. Make sure we don't hit the racking down here. Extend it out with the 6. In a little bit too far there. Let's pull it back. And drop it down with the 7. A little bit further back. It's very hard to judge. Let's go again. Have we got it this time? Oh, that is perfect. That is the perfect drop there. Let's pull back then. Don't knock it as you do so. We are out. And then let's bring it down then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's down to the floor. 6 to bring it in. Turn it around. Do a bow. If only I could. A curtsy maybe, but I can't do one of those in this. And there it is. That is my retro reach truck. Hope you liked it. Like I say, based on a real build. If you want to see a real one in action, check it out on Google. Maybe look for a YouTube video. Yeah, pretty cool build. I think it works as intended when you don't try and lift the heavy pallets. But this is the first, like I say, of my warehouse builds. I do want to build onto this place. Maybe out here we can have either a picking chamber or maybe a dispatch area where we can have the lorries that pull on the bays and something to load the pallets on. Yeah, or a goods in area where we take the pallets in. So it could be either of those things. Let me know what you want to see and I'll see if I can do it. Moonbow the shout out is still out to you if you want to help me, because I know you've worked in warehousing, I know you've worked with these kind of machineries in these kind of environments, so you might be able to offer some suggestions or some builds for this, and that would be pretty damn cool. But there it is. So if you enjoyed this video, as always, why not spank the hell out of that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe for more retro specs, and until next time, I'm going to swing this thing around in the rack, and I'm even going to drive it in the most dangerous way ever. Reach up, reach out, and see you soon. Bye for now.